Charlie here from Your Past is a Gift. Now, in this video I had to share because I've read this line and it's really stuck in my head, and it just, for me, it rings so true. And the line is from Neil Donald Walsh from his book called Home with God. And I found it on a YouTube video that I was looking at the other day, and he mentioned it in this YouTube video. And I thought, wow, that's one of his few books that I haven't read yet. So I thought, and somehow he explains there that once you read that book, you no longer have a fear of dying, so you'll no longer have a fear of living, and all of that. The issue, of course, with the book is that it talks about God, and not everyone believes in God. So, you know, my videos, I'm trying to create so that anyone can relate to them. You'll find the language in the videos is very simple, the same as the language in my book, and that was deliberate because I remember a lot of the issues that I had in my life were in my childhood. So going on to 10, 11, 12, and then in your teenage years. So I didn't want language to be a problem if it's for a child that's struggling with something that they can't understand, that they can't get through it, and they're really having issues moving forward with it and thinking that they're the ones, you know, that they're the problem. They're the ones that are causing this in their life. So I made sure that that book was as simple as possible, that any child could pick it up. You know, there's a few topics in there, like when I talk about sex, touched on the top. It's not a huge topic in the book either for that reason. Okay, so there's not all this detail about the things I've been through in those areas, but you know, things that I thought that a child that's 10, 11, 12 could pick up, could read it, and get something out of it, something important. So, going through now, in this video, I wanted to talk about this line that was one of the very first things I read in the book. Now, I only just started reading it last night, with, of course, 5-minute interruptions from my from my 6-year-old, so I kind of just had to leave it for when she's not there because I really want to get into it. And the line was that everybody does everything for themselves. Now I want you to think about it, because even when we are doing something for someone else, like when I make these videos, okay, and I have the intention of helping others, that is my most fervent intention, okay? That someone will find these and that something will go off in their head, and that they no longer have to feel bad about who they are. They realize that they were there all along, the whole time. Everything they needed has been there the whole time. So even with these videos that I'm creating, that I want to help others, I do them because they make me feel good. I do. You know, to think that it could help one person, and in improving that person's life and improving the way they look at themselves, they feel about themselves, they will affect others in that way too. You know, because like I was saying, when you feel good about who you are, you want to lift others up. You want others to see how special they are as well. You know, you want others to be able to see their gifts, to be able to start using their gifts in the world, rather than always hiding and not wanting to connect. So it took me back. I read that line, everybody does everything for themselves. And it took me back to a conversation I had with my husband. I'm trying to think, maybe a year ago or 6 months. It wasn't that long ago. And I remember saying to him that he can't make me happy. And he was kind of in shock when I said that, you know. But I said to him, I can't make you happy. You know, you can't make somebody else feel joy or feel peace or feel worthy of love if they're not in that place. You can't make, no matter how much you love them and you want to give them that gift, you can't make them feel any of that if they're not ready for it, if they're not in that place to accept that, you know, that they're worthy of that, they're worthy of your love. They're worthy of everything, all the good things in life. I know, because in previous videos I've mentioned it with my mum. You know, my dad loves her so much. And yet there's so many times when I'm talking to her and I get these comments about her unworthiness. You know, how she's not deserving of love. She's not deserving of good health. She's not deserving of so many wonderful things. She's not worthy. And it seems like no matter how much love he has to give her, until she realizes that she's worthy, she won't let that in. You know, she won't accept that she deserves that love. His love, my sister's love. So I want you to really think about that today, because it's just something so important to understand. You can't make someone else happy. It's the truth. I mean, think for yourself, okay? In the times where I've had 2 main depressions in my life, and in both of them, it didn't matter what other people said to me. It didn't matter what they did. Nothing outside of me could take away that sadness that I was feeling, that emptiness, that darkness. They couldn't do that. And I did have people around me that loved me. I know that. But that did not change how I was feeling inside, and that I needed to go through that process. Everybody does everything for themselves. Everything that you're doing is for your own experience in this life. Everything. You know, you may think, okay, I'm a parent and I do everything for my kids. And sometimes you might feel like you're a slave because you've got no life. Everything you do is for them, or it's for your husband, or it's for your home. You know, some mums feel like that. They feel a bit like a martyr, because it's like, you know, they don't have their own life. They just live dedicated to everybody else. They're sacrificed, and their life for everybody else, you know, for the lives that they brought into the world, and for the life, you know, that they share with this person. But even then, you're still doing it because it makes you feel needed. It makes you feel that you have a place in the world. That isn't without its place. You know, you all of those things, you may feel like you're the victim because, you know, everyone else has their life and you're in the back seat. You're the one that's always living your life around everyone else. But in that, you feel needed, you feel wanted, you feel that you have purpose. You're still doing all that because that's what you want for you. That's your experience. Because in every moment, you can choose differently. You can choose to do something for yourself. Go out, do something that would give you joy, that would give you peace, that would give you some you time. There's nothing stopping you. And by that, it doesn't mean you've got to spend a whole lot of money. There's nothing stopping you from going and sitting in a park that's free. And spend half an hour in nature, just sitting there. There's so many beautiful parks with ponds and lakes and gorgeous gardens that you can just walk through and connect to nature for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you need. Where you're not thinking about your kids. You're not thinking about your husband. You can just have some time off from thinking of anything, thinking about anything. There's nothing stopping you from doing that except you. The housework will still be there when you get home. It's not going anywhere. It'll still be there tomorrow. You have to learn what do you need? What's important? Make time for that. Like my mum always said, if it's important, you'll make time. Always. And I'll keep repeating it in all the videos because I think it's one of the lines of the most wisdom that she's ever given me. If something is important to you, you make time for it. Then make time. Stop complaining that you are dedicated to everyone else and don't have time for you. Make time. Just make it. All right, my darlings. I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.